Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. In this game there are 3 different types of special forces: Marines, Paratroopers, and Mountaineers. And they all have this brand new Doctrine tree for each of them with the brand new expansion, which was $20 and it had 3 things. In this whole expansion about special forces though, they didn't fix the one thing that everybody hates about them. The fact that you can only have a small amount. But I guess there's nothing we can do about it. Oh wait, look at this. Increase special forces cap to 10,000. That looks like a good idea. Aha, now we can have basically unlimited special forces. So let's see how effective it'll be if our entire army consists of special forces. Specifically, I'm going to be going with Mountaineers. Why am I doing that? Because I think Mountaineers are the coolest one. Not because they're necessarily the most effective, I just think they're cool. What are my goals for this? Well, you know I like playing as democratic. So we're going to be playing historically. We are also doing that because all of these paths are pretty cool, and I think this is going to be kind of OP, so I want to limit myself just a smidgen. Anyways, let's start the video. I don't start out with any Mountaineers, so they are all getting deleted. Next, let's delete the tanks, because I won't use them. Delete the tactical bombers. Let's get some carrier naval bombers, and some close air support, just a little bit. Let's also put some factories on guns, some on artillery, and some on support artillery, and I think I want to do this in the future. Then add a few more on infantry equipment. Also some on trucks, and maybe transport planes later for supply purposes. I'm also going to finish up these ships so that I don't have to think about it. And in the future, I want to put 1 dockyard on convoys, 5 on carriers, and everything else on cruisers and maybe some destroyers later, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Basic research. And we are also going to have to research mountain infantry because we don't start out with that. Let's build a few more factories and follow that up with some civilian ones. Good. Also very important, switch out of military governor, switch to local autonomy. You wouldn't believe how many times I forget to do that. And we are going historically, but we're not going to do that quite yet. First, we're going to start out with limited rearmament so that we can get to the shadow scheme as soon as possible. Let's speed up the game and do things. Ethiopia wants to come along for the ride. Sure. Let's merge up the fleet. Merge here, go down here, because if you don't do that, they'll all set up shop up here, and then permanently exercise. We'll get an obnoxious amount of naval experience from that. Limited rearmament is done. Can't do the shadow scheme yet because it's not 5% world tension. I could go for steady as she goes or for reinforce the empire, but I'm going to wait a minute to actually get more political power so that I can get the army maneuver genius as soon as possible. I'm going to need a lot of army experience for this, and that would be the main source of it. There we go, 200 political power. Let's hire the dude. Now let's get back to what we were doing. Reinforce the empire. Edward VIII is being very stubborn. Unfortunate for him. Goodbye, mister. Mountain Infantry 1 has been completed. Yay. Now we can start making a template. I'm not going to quite yet because we now have 35 army experience and can get relief of command, which will make us gain 25% more army experience. Call it an investment, but the sooner you go for this, the better. We are currently at 5% world tension. We can now do the shadow scheme. The reason I'm rushing for the shadow scheme is so that I can get the extra research slot as soon as possible. Give refuge to German scientists. This is expensive, but I think it's worth it. Actually, never mind. I'm going to wait and get the silent workhorse first, and then I'm going to get that. I want to get the silent workhorse while Stanley Baldwin is still in charge because he makes it just a little bit less expensive. There we go. The mission has been completed. I can do something else now. Ha ha ha. We have 60 army experience. We can now elevate the Mountaineers. This gives us access to Rangers, which are okay. They give attack bonuses into certain terrain types or movement bonuses. They do stuff in certain terrain types. They're just reconnaissance, but a little bit better. This also gives us -0 supply use. Truly game changing. Anyways, the shadow scheme is completed. Let's do industrial effort and get that research slot. German Reich dominates Dutch trade negotiations. I don't care. Just kidding. Carrier naval bomber. Fighter. Close air support. Alright, now it's time to give refuge to German scientists. Bulgaria demands negotiations. I didn't read that right, but whatever. Let's demand an official treaty, I guess. Extra research slot, yay. Denmark offers a trade proposal. No. Let's give refuge to Italian scientists as well. Construction 3, very ahead of time, but we've got a 100% bonus, so it's fine. And we've got a whole nother research slot to work with anyway. Let's go full into research. Let's encourage colonial elites for another 7%. We're going to stack so much research. We're going to be like, hey, we need a new gun to manufacture to beat the enemy. And they're going to come back in the next day like, all right, this thing launches nuclear bombs at the enemy. Look at this. There's a little hidden thing in the MIO for Great Britain. SDEN machine guns. That's pretty good. Let's get that. 150 political power. Let's get free trade, boost our research by another 5%. We are starting to lack aluminum because of that, so I'm going to build a lot of infrastructure over here because there's a lot of aluminum here. Encourage colonial elite is done. We are now researching 34% faster. Seems worth it to me. Steady as she goes. Mr. Baldwin is gone and Mr. Chamberlain is here. Home defense. I'm going to be sticking with Grand Battle Plan, so Grand Battle Plan Expert. And let's unlock the Grand Battle Plan. This is not the greatest cruiser ever. That looks a little better to me. General rearmament. Battlefield support. Now we have a choice here in the Doctrine tree. Do we go with cold weather specialists or rough terrain specialists? Now cold weather is pretty good if you're in Norway or Finland, but we're not. So we're going to be going with rough terrain specialists. Once I get this one here, Battlefield Intelligence, I'll start building my unit because this makes it 50% cheaper to actually put it in the template. It's an investment of army experience, kind of. France wants to join the Allies. Well, why not? Early mobilization. Now this is new. Airborne Forces Department. This gives us a branch specialism, which means we can also get Marines or paratroopers if we want. It also gives a cost reduction for the Doctrine, and we want to get that as soon as possible so we can start building our division, because right now we have no standing army and it's pretty much 1938. Plus, this focus gives us a very good advisor for what we're doing. I'm not using tanks. Let's sell all of them. I just realized I haven't been producing anti-air this whole time. That's a mistake. That should be better. Destroyers. These are very expensive, but from my experience, they work pretty well. We have done the focus. We can now select the thing, and we can get started on designing our division. This is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to add some more stuff to it when I get more army experience. Now let's train a whole lot of those. Never mind, it will only let me train 9. So let's make another division with just 1 infantry in it. Let's train as many of these as we want. Let's start with 72. And when these are done, we can just convert them to the actual thing we want them to be. There, we now have 72 divisions. That's 3 full armies, and we will now convert all of them to our Mountaineer division. Now we are missing about 40,000 guns, but yeah, that might have been an oversight by me. Yeah, we need a lot more of basically everything. But even though we don't have everything, this is the template I'm going to build when I have enough experience. Hey, and we actually almost have enough artillery. I bought some guns on the international market and completely crashed my economy. I have no civilian factories left. I still don't have enough equipment, but I just cannot stop editing this template. There, I believe this is the final form. I might add support rocket artillery onto it later, we'll see. The Czechs are on their own. The question of Yugoslavia. Neither of these really do anything, so I don't care. I think I want to invest in field hospitals or logistic companies. That would make it so I'd be out of slots, though, and I do want to add support rocket artillery onto this later. I could add it on as a battalion. I might be able to take off the engineers. It's only giving me 4.2 entrenchment, but I also have it upgraded it. But I already get 10 from this, so I'm not sure if it's worth it or not. I'm going to start with field hospitals. We might use them, we might not. I've been producing more than enough support equipment this whole time and more than enough trucks, so I can actually afford that if I want to. Our entrepreneurs returned from Athens. Of course, we'll invest in that. This is like the 6th time Portugal has asked me to buy ships for me, and like, I still don't want to. We can now get another thing in the tree for Mountaineers. We can either go with holding the line, which is great for defense and also shortens the combat width by a little bit, which is interesting and also quite useful. Or we can go with mountain artillery. Now this makes it so that if I have support artillery and rangers, then it gives this stuff for all of the Mountaineers. Well, it gives 15% breakthrough to the Mountaineers if I have support artillery. And then it gives 20% soft attack to all line artillery if I have rangers. These are both honestly very good options. And I was actually thinking about getting rid of the support artillery so I could add something else onto there, like logistics or field hospitals. I'm probably going to regret this later, aren't I? Well, they're both awesome, so either way it's a win. Completed most of the things I want to for the most part, or, well, need to, I guess. At this point, it's just personal preference. I think I want to work towards aircraft production group and fighter command, so I'm going to start with air rearmament. Airplanes are very powerful. Field hospitals. As it turns out, I actually do not have enough equipment for this. I'm very close to having enough equipment for this, though. Good enough. There's a lot of red numbers here. We have a commando genius. That gives us 15% attack for all of our special forces, which is lovely. Also gives plus 10 special forces cap. But that doesn't really mean much when your cap is 10,000. I'm going to forget if I don't do it now, so let's guarantee the independence of Poland. I forgot to make a spy agency. Let's do that. Hello, Sarah. You are a phenomenal spy. Let's give you a cool nickname. Lovely. Ethiopia requests overlordship of Eritrea. I see no way this could end in the Eritrean War of Independence, so let's give it to him. Combined arms training. We're almost at the last one. April 1939. We almost have enough equipment. Nowhere near enough artillery, though. It'll probably work itself out in the end. Now, I would like to get some rocket artillery. However, I'm kind of behind on everything, so I don't think I really have enough production to produce more stuff for that. So I'm not going to. We have reached the end of the Doctrine tree for Mountaineers. There's 2 options here. Shared instructors or the backbone of the army. Now, this side is just straight up better. This side gets 10% soft attack. This side gets 10% everything attack, and for all special special forces. I'm gonna go for this one. Now I can finally start on the land doctrine, which I only have 2 for. Poland has been declared on. They are calling me to the war. Let's do that. I'm not really ready, but I'm not really ready. Italy has joined the war. Oh, that is a mistake, my friend. You know, some people are like, oh, you shouldn't defend Africa. You shouldn't attack in Africa. It's completely pointless. And you're right. But it's fun. Shadow scheme factories. Always forget about those. We are completely incinerating them right now, despite the lack of equipment. I'm playing as Britain, which means I have access to this overpowered button. Joint Ethiopian-British training exercise. You get an option for every one of these for every nation in your faction that capitulate. It just gives you an obnoxious amount of experience, and it's great. You know, the Mountaineers are actually doing extremely well in Ethiopia because a lot of it is the Ethiopian highlands, as you might imagine. So we are just melting every single division here. Like, I'm not even micromanaging this, and it's just disgusting. Look at this. I just tell a division where to go, and they're like, all right, there, let's go. What next? And look at that. We're already done, and it's the end of September. We've got pretty much a 100-to-1 casualty ratio. I've taken 3K casualties. They've taken about 300,000 just from me. This is just silly. So I am using Mountaineers. I think I'm going to send them to this part of France in the Alps. And I have a feeling they're going to perform very, very well. I'm going to send the other half of the people from here over here to Libya, and then we'll take out Libya, and then we'll see what happens. Poland has been exiled. Oh no, totally didn't see that coming. Let's take care of this place now. Now, ordinarily, Tobruk is a very hard point to capture because it's mountains. However, look at this. Everything is a mountaineer. Instead of being handicapped by mountains, we get a plus 50% attack. Don't forget about those joint exercise programs. Oh my goodness, look at this. We just sank 21 destroyers in one go. Chamberlain resigns, oh no. What have you done, Mr. Mussolini? You just made my day is what you did. Can we encircle the rest of these troops? That would be so great if we could. Yay. Well, Belgium has just been declared on. However, I'm pretty confident that this 24 divisions sitting here are gonna work out. Let's just ignore Belgium though, because I'm having a lot of fun in North Africa. The Italians are just getting cooked by me. Like, flip them over, add some seasoning, because they are just cooked. And we have taken Tripoli almost uncontested. Now this is pretty much my meta division, and I've basically just heightened its senses a little bit. And this is pretty much just as broken as I thought it would be. Now, normally you think to yourself, the best option to take out Italy is to attack from the south and naval invade them. Because, you know, the Alps is in the way. This is like a big impenetrable wall for the most part. You know what I say to that? I say to that, you're silly. You're silly. You're stupid. You're silly. I'm starting to get low on artillery again, though. This wall is completely impenetrable, though. I'm actually thinking it might be better to attack Germany first. Because as you can see on most of these divisions, their strength is starting to run out. Most of them have very low organization, because if I unpause, you can see they just keep attacking my front line and losing over and over again. So I think it's going to be a better option to instead go after Germany first. Goodness gracious, we encircled them again. Let's do that one more time. Let's do that one more time. Let's do that one more time. All right, enough of that. Let's start looking at Germany. You see, though, there's like no troops here, and they're still just attacking my front line, so I can still just let them bleed themselves out a little bit longer. So let's go after Italy first. Italy just keeps on attacking Malta over and over again. They lost 75 tactical bombers on this run. What some silly goobers. This is extremely broken for Italy because most of the country is mountains. And you're getting movement bonuses too, and mountains are usually already pretty hard to traverse. So this is just completely dumpstering Italy right now. It's really not me, it's mostly the division. This division is truly a work of art. Yeah, I'm starting to think this isn't really so much of a challenge as it is a cheat code. And there goes the Civil War. Let's try a little probing attack while we're waiting in Germany. I'll just look away from that, hope it works out. And Italy is done for. Let's look at the casualties. 800,000 on their side, 820,000 anyway. 46,000 on mine. Actually have an even better ratio against the Germans, and all I've been doing is sitting here. Now, after way too much preparation, I think it's finally time to start the counterattack. Just kidding, we're gonna wait a little bit longer. See, the thing is that I kind of want to start counterattacking, but it's just so easy to sit here and rack up free kills. I'll do it anyway, though. Let's see what happens. Okay, every bubble is green, and we're completely incinerating them. Hold on, can I get an encirclement here? That would be pretty epic. You know what? I will invest in Greece. Or that first encirclement. Well, not the first one, but the first German encirclement. This is cheating. I feel like I'm cheating right now. Ah, look at this. We encircled all of them in Holland. All these soldiers are gonna need breast extensions for all the medals they're gonna get. Well, I have completely obliterated my air force, so that wasn't it. Honestly, I thought this was a pretty good plane design. It is what it is, though. I'm not going to change anything about it because I'm winning pretty much everywhere else. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Time to kill people. In the last year, we have a 97% win ratio. I think that's a good sign. Legionary Romania has joined the Axis. Are you really sure this is the right time to be doing that? You're not even connected, because Hungary isn't in the Axis. Casual 3 encirclements in a row. Okay, they're reshuffling their front line in a way that makes no sense. I'm not sure what's up, but there's no troops anywhere, and I'm not sure why. They're not at war with the USSR. I'm not sure what's happened. According to the intel ledger, they still have at least 110 divisions, but where are they? Are they, like, preparing to invade Yugoslavia? I think they might be preparing to invade Yugoslavia. That might just be something wrong with their code. Anyways, whatever reason it is, I'm going to take advantage of it. Ah, yeah, the army is showing back up, but they don't stand a chance. Here I was thinking that the key to victory was some vicious micromanagement to encircle and destroy troops instead of facing them head on. But what I didn't understand is that just using a battle plan and waiting is really the best strategy all along. I'm starting to be glad that I chose to attach field hospitals because my manpower is draining at an alarming rate. The war should be over soon though, so we should be good. Speaking of which, that happened right as I clicked the button to stop recording. Anyways, what do we want? Now you know it. You love it. The Ethiopian supremacy over Europe. I categorize this as a win. Goodbye.